Good morning, comic lovers. Again, just the last one I was talking about online auctions for estate sales and goodwill auctions and getting comics that way, and they're an inexpensive way to get a bunch of comics. And then I'm going to talk about yard saling, and I talked about how you can get some bad stuff, right? Like you can definitely get some bad stuff, but you can get stuff that's good. Filler. Never count on it being anything good. When I order them online, I don't expect them to be great. So when I do get one that's great, it's wonderful. When I go to yard sales, estate sales, I can definitely be pickier. And I can really look them over and decide if there's something that I'm interested in and how much I'm willing to pay. Oftentimes at yard sales and estate sales, you can make a deal for the whole bundle. So I have a bundle that I picked up, and this was a good bundle. I think this was a good deal. I definitely looked it over, went back and forth on what I thought it was worth. Not necessarily because I plan on reselling, because that's never the issue with me. I'm looking to fill my collection, and this one had a bunch of 12 centers, 12, 15 centers, the old stuff. So we'll get started, and here we go. So Adventure Comics. This was featuring the Legion of Superheroes, one of their early appearances. This is number 376. They started in Superboy and then became their own thing, but they even made appearances in Adventure before they actually got their own title. This one isn't in bad shape. I mean, it's all connected. There's not a lot of rust. We don't have to worry too much about rust here in Arizona, but it does happen. This one's good, but nice 12 center. A amazing Spiderman, 25 center. This is number 148. Very fine. This is nice. Given its age, it's in really good shape. So again, it's not near mint. You're not going to find near mint at a yard sale unless they're a collector already. So this is somebody who had bought these a long time ago, and for the most part they sat there. My guess is they had them for their grandkids or their kids to play with. So we have Archie. This is number 184. This is number 188. Number 202, and these are good. They're connected. They're not in bad shape at all. They're definitely a reader quality. I mean, some of these, if I really wanted to clean and press, might even make VG, but that's about where they're at, and that's the way it works. So we have Archie's Giant Magazine. This one's number 216. And then we have 218. Which one's this? 445. And 515. Again, these are good. Like I said, a few might make VG if, you know, a press and stuff was done. Not something I'll probably worry about. I love Archie. I think they're great, but they're not something that I tend to collect. Archie's Joke Book. This one's actually in pretty nice shape, for sure. It's number 165. And so this one definitely VG, but actually might go up into 5. It's pretty nice. So when you first see them, you may not realize, you know, what you're looking at. So this particular, I saw this, and it's old, right? It's a 12 cent Archie Madhouse. It's frayed at the side. It's actually just a cover. Yep, it's just a cover. It was wrapped around a Walt Disney Mickey Mouse from the same era, from like 52, so same general time frame as being in the 50s. But when I first saw it, I didn't, I knew it was in kind of rough shape, but it was in the stack. It wasn't what I was necessarily looking for, but I thought, okay, that could be something really cool. And then it was just a cover. But you never know, right? Like, I thought, okay, whatever. I didn't find that out till afterwards. Avengers 126, Avengers 235, Avengers 282, and then the giant-sized annual. This is Avengers number 16. Again, these are probably all in the fine, very fine range. I tend to low grade stuff just because I'd rather be surprised that it's worth more later. Also, Avengers King Size Special number 4. This is a 25 center, and this is very, very nice. It's in really good shape. In fact, if I was doing this, I would for sure say this is a very fine. It's pretty nice. Then we have Betty and Veronica. Again, that's a VG. I think that one's in pretty good shape. Captain Action number 2. If you don't know, Captain Action was part of the change from being dolls to being action figures. The G.I. Joe was one of the first. It was marketed as a Action Man Navy, Action Man Air Force, etc., right? Army, Marines, whatever. And so then Captain Action comes around, and he can be everybody. So Captain Action was a Mego doll that there were Superman outfits for, there were Captain America outfits for, everybody outfits for, and that was because they wanted to market them. DC had the rights to advertise them, very similar to Marvel advertising the Transformers and G.I. Joe, or one of the other many different type of characters. Anyway, these are always pretty cool to find. They are 12 centers. This was back in the day. This one is good. I think it's probably not going to go any farther. Like, a good cleaning and pressing, maybe, but I would just say you're going to get good plus out of this after I pretty it up a bit. But yep, still a cool find. Captain America, this is $2.95. Nothing fancy, just if you don't have it, it's one that you could get, right? And that was kind of the way I looked at these. Okay, do I have it? No, I don't have it. Okay, let's see what they'll do for it. Conan 265 or 65, and then Conan Giant Size 1. These are the Roy Thomas classics. And then we got some Daredevil. We got 234. We got 235. We got 237. And then we got 298. And again, I knew these, when you go to estate sales and stuff, you're just kind of looking for the cool stuff. And if you don't have it, or if you're thinking it is better than yours, then you go ahead and pick it up. Sometimes when you have a bunch of 12 centers and stuff, you kind of want to see what you can do to get them. So this is Devil Kids by Harvey. This is number 41. It's not, again, good. It's a kid's book, right? Kids, Like, people forget that these were designed for kids. I know that they're not so much anymore, but they were. Charlton Dudley Do Right, number 4. How cool is that? This is pretty neat. This one is probably VG. Not probably. I would grade it as a VG minus, and call it that. Yes, you could probably get it a little better, but if a good clean and press and stuff. Fantastic Four, number 327. Another Charlton. This is when they were 30 centers. This is the Fighting Marines, and this one's number 130. And these were sold, well, they were sold lots of places, but what's kind of cool is you can see the 30 cent for the US, and then you can see the 10p for the UK. So I always think that's kind of neat. I have a bunch of from different, like, Canadian books with the Canadian prices on there. Flash, number, what is this one? 199. And this one's VG. It's a nice 15 center. This is a nice way to get older books. You're going to get stuff that you may not even care about, but then you'll get something like the Flash if that's, you know, what you're interested in, and you end up with some older books that didn't cost a ton of money. Charlton Grand Prix. This is pretty nice. Issue number 21. I will say that this guy was probably into cars. Later you'll see that there's some cartoon magazines, which I believe is still published. This is a nice way to pick up some older books. If you're into Flash or whatever, you can find some older books that are usually less expensive. So, Incredible Hulk, number 202 and 203. These are nice. Another 12 center. This is the Justice League, number 33. This one is VG. I don't think it's going to be fine in any way, but VG, VG minus, right around there. It's pretty nice, and that's a nice way to get some old books. Tales of the Legion of Superheroes. This is, so they started going to Baxter paper, late 80s, early 90s, and Legion of Superheroes and New Teen Titans did it, but they kept their old series going, and they called it Tales of, and then it would reprint the stuff that was in the Baxter paper. DC did this for Legion of Superheroes and then New Teen Titans. A Life with Archie, number 113. Again, VG. This is a 15 center. It's pretty good shape. Again, Archie's not my thing, but you know, they're still nice. Here we have a Marvel Fanfare, number 7, and these would have a collection of stories in them. This one has a Hulk fighting the Blob, and a Daredevil with the blind child. So, yeah. Marvel 2-in-1. This is number 18 with the Thing, of course, who was the always in guy, and then Scarecrow. So this would be Marvel's Scarecrow, not DC's Scarecrow. I guess I should clarify that. The Nightcrawler limited series. This is number 3 and number 4. This was back right around the time of the Secret Wars 2, Secret Wars 2, like from the late 80s, Secret Wars. Then we have Reggie's Wise Guy Jokes, number 28. I believe this is actually an Archie Giant, but I didn't get in and check this on the indicia, which I will do before I catalog it. But it's in very good shape. Another nice one, Sergeant Fury, and the Howling Commandos. This is number 45, a nice 12 center. VG. It is VG minus probably. It's not going to go and be fine in any way, but a little better than good. There is wear on the cover, but the older they get, the more they accept wear on the cover, and wear anywhere actually. You can see very old books get graded and you're like, wait, really? It looks like that's barely held together, but yeah, it does take off. So then we have, so this is Spiderman Collectible Series, and there are a ton of these. These were little inserts. So we have number 2, number 5, and they're retelling old stories. Number 6, number 7. These are like 8 pages, 8, 9, 10, and you got to be like, if you find these, it's not looking at here. This is for sure a reprint. It's got the black border. It's not for resale, but it'll say Spider-Man Collectible Series up top and give you the number. So it's kind of neat. What was this? 10. So 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. And so it's not all of them by any means. They're missing a couple, but I thought how amazing, because these came with action figures, and I was just like, wow, there's just a ton of these. They're to my knowledge not worth anything. They're just kind of cool. They're retelling a story from the earlier books, and I think that's pretty neat. So I went ahead, considered them when I was considering how much this is worth. A Starman, the guy actually from the Phoenix area, the character is, but the artists were not, and you could tell by the way they drew their pictures of what the valley, the Phoenix Valley looks like. Some Star Trek, we got 59 and 64. Again, I'm not a huge, I mean, I liked Star Trek, don't get me wrong, I watched it way back when. I have not kept up with all the new stuff. I did watch Next Generation and all that, but I never really, like, I'm not a fanatic. I think it's cool. But yeah, so they're there. Here's an interesting, so Star Wars is another one. I mean, I'm old enough, I was there when it came out. I watched it. Later on that year, it only had a short release, so it didn't play everywhere. Anyway, so there's a bunch of these Star Wars Legacies. They're number 0. I don't know if this was from a free comic book day or something, but he's got 3 of them. And so, well, I have 3 of them now. And then Star Wars X-Wing Rogue Squadron. This is number 1 of a limited series by Dark Horse as the previous. Again, I'm not a huge fanatic about Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to watch the movies when they come out and go see the stuff. But I'm not like, I don't know, somebody that can tell you all the characters that were in the cantina. I can't do that. They didn't have names in the cantina, right? A Steel. An old Superboy. This is number 154. This one's a VG. It is nice, but it's got some flaws that would probably keep this from being upward to be a fine. This is probably not going to make fine. So some Superman, Man of Steel. We have issue 23, issue 33, and then we have the Elseworlds annual number 3. These again are pretty neat. Late 80s, early 90s stuff. These are actually 90s for Man of Steel, but still cool. These are not great. If I have them in my collection already and they're a better copy, I probably won't. I'll do something with those, but yeah, pretty neat. Superman's Girlfriend. This is a 12 center and this is a classic cover. It's at best, this is going to make a good minus with a little cleaning. It's attached and all, and it's not in bad shape by any means. It's not like it's going to be poor, but it is not for sure a winner. But it is a classic cover, and this is a nice way to get it. I didn't have this cover, so I'm pretty excited about getting it because it is that classic cover. There's a few iconic covers. That's one of them. We have another Superman's Girlfriend. This is a 15 center, number 103. Very, it's, again, it's a reader copy. If you don't have it, it's nice to have. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 134. And then we also got a number 140, what was it, 148. And you'll notice it has the number cut off. And that was a printing issue. That was not a, it's gone bad. It was just a printing issue. So those happened. Less now than they did back then. And as I mentioned, they started doing the Tales when they were reprinting. So this is Tales of the New Teen Titans, number 67. I don't remember what issue it went from New Teen Titans to this, but yeah, this is the old George Perez, of course, who just recently passed, and it's still classic work. Alright, let's cut that and then we'll go to the next one. Expect to come back for part 2.